This video is about solving rational equations. All right, now we're going to solve some rational equations. And first, I just want to remind you, what does that word mean when I talk about solving an equation? Right? When I ask you to solve, we're looking for the solutions, which will be the numbers that when we replace x with those numbers will make this true. Right? We're looking for the numbers that will make this statement here true. Okay? All right. Now you know how to work with equations that don't have fractions in them pretty well. Right? So our strategy here is when we have equations with fractions, our basic strategy is let's try to do something to these equations so that they will not have fractions in them. All right? All right, so let's think about what we could do to this. Right? Well, I've got this fraction here on the left, and I've got a denominator of 4. Right? And wouldn't it be great if we could get rid of that 4? Here's how we could do that. Right? We could multiply by 4. Right? And remember, 4 is the same thing as 4 over 1. And also, remember that if you do something to the left side, in order to keep the right side equal to the left side, you have to do that same thing. So if I multiply the left by 4, I need to multiply the right side by 4 as well. All right, so what would happen here? Well, on the left, we have 4 over 4, right? So 4 over 4 is 1, right? So those will divide out, and we'll just have x plus 7. And on the right, we end up with 4x minus 8. Now we have a really easy equation. No more fractions, super easy to solve. All right, so let's see what we can do. Let's finish this by subtracting x from both sides. We end up with 7 is equal to 3x minus 8. And then I can add 8 to both sides. I have 15 equals 3x. And then lastly, if I divide both sides by 3, I end up with x is equal to 5. All right, and remember what this is. 5 is the number that if I were to put that in this equation, 5 would make this true. And you can check real quick, right? 5 plus 7 would be 12. 12 divided by 4 is 3. And on this side, 5 minus 2 is 3. Right? So that 5 there, that's the number that makes that true. Okay, let's do another example. All right. So again, I've got this weird-looking equation, and it has a fraction. So let's, again, apply our strategy. Let's try to do something here so that we will no longer have fractions, because once we get rid of fractions, that'll make this a lot easier. Okay? Again, I see that I have this denominator of x minus 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply by x minus 4 on both sides. Right? So I'm going to multiply the left by x minus 4. And I'm going to multiply the right by x minus 4. Right? And you can think of this as x minus 4 over 1. Right? Why do I do that? Because right here I have x minus 4 divided by x minus 4. And what's this equal to? X minus 4 divided by x minus 4 is 1. So 1 times x plus 6 will just be x plus 6. And then on the left, 3 times x minus 4 is 3x minus 12. Okay? So again, now we have no more fractions, super easy problem to solve. Okay, let's do this real fast. Subtract x from both sides. We get 2x minus 12 equals 6. Now I can add 12 to both sides. We have 2x equals 18. And if I divide both sides by 2, we get x equals 9. Right, so this right here, this is our answer. This 9, if I plug this in, would make this statement true. All right, now I want you to try one. This one looks a little bit different, but it's going to be the same idea that we're going to apply. Okay, so please pause and solve this equation. All right, let's see if you got it right. So what I would do here is I would try to get rid of the fractions. Try to make this so that we have no more fractions. Right? So what we can do is we can multiply both sides by the same thing. Let's multiply by 2x minus 3, or 2x minus 3 over 1. Right? Why do we do that? so that 2x minus 3 divided by 2x minus 3, this thing will become 1. So we'll just end up with 11 minus 2x. And same thing happens on this side. 2x minus 3 divided by 2x minus 3, that will be 1. So we get 4x minus 19 equals 11 minus 2x. Right? And now there's no fractions, so this should be a piece of cake. We can add 2x. So we have 6x minus 19 equals 11. And then if I add 19 to both sides, I have 6x equals 30. And I can divide both sides by 6 and get x equals 5. All right, let's look at another one. We have this 3/4 x minus 9 equals negative 3. Now, there's one thing here I want to make sure you are clear with. This right here, 3/4 x, it's 3/4 times x. But another way that you could look at that would be like this. 3x over 4 minus 9 equals negative 3. Okay, so and that makes sense because x here is the same thing as x over 1, so it's 3x over 4. Okay, now this one, it looks a little bit different, and I want to mention there are other ways to do this problem, but I want to show you a way that's kind of consistent with what I've been showing you here. Right, we have a fraction, and wouldn't this problem be so much easier to do if we didn't have fractions? So what could we do? What could we multiply by to get rid of that fraction? Right? Hopefully it's not a surprise to you, but what I want to do here is I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. Right, now, you have to be careful here, right? Because this 4 needs to distribute. It needs to be multiplied by both of these terms in here. So I'm going to write it this way. We'd have 4 times 3x over 4. And then we'd have plus 4 times negative 9. Right? Because this 4 here distributes. 4 times this, 4 times this. Right? Equals, this is negative 12 over here. Okay, so now this problem, watch how easy this is. Right, this is 4 over 1, and again, 4 divided by 4, that's 1. So we get 3x minus 36 equals negative 12. Now it should be really easy to finish. We can add 36 to both sides. So we have 3x equals 24. And if we divide both sides by 3, we end up with x equals 8. Okay? So remember, our whole goal is to multiply so that we can no longer have fractions. All right, you're going to try this one on your own. So please pause the video and see if you can solve this one. All right, let's check to see how you did. Okay? What I would do is I would multiply both sides by 4. Okay, and remember, actually, let me rewrite this before I do that. Remember, this is the same thing as 3x over 4. Okay, so now let's multiply both sides by 4. Right? So on the left, let's distribute. This would be 4 times 5 plus 4 times negative 3x over 4. Right? And on this side, we can go ahead and simplify this because 4 divided by 4 here, that will be 1, so we get x minus 2. On the left, this will be 20, and the 4 divided by 4 again, that will be 1, so we just end up with minus 3x equals x minus 2. Alright, so now no more fractions. Let's go ahead and finish this. So let's see, I'm going to add 3x to both sides. Let's get more room. So we have 20 equals 4x minus 2. And then if I add 2 to both sides, I would have 22 equals 4x. Now to get x by itself, let's divide both sides by 4. And I would have x is equal to 22 fourths, which reduces to 11 halves. So there's our answer. You have one more to do, okay? And again, it looks a little bit hard, but it's not. You're going to do the same idea, okay? Again, I want you to pause and try this one on your own, okay? Go ahead and do that. All right, let's see if you finished the last one correctly. Okay, so what I would do is I would multiply both sides by x minus 2. Okay, the left here is going to be super easy, right? X minus 2 divided by x minus 2, that's going to be 2x plus 8. All right, now over here, let's distribute this x minus 2. Right, so it's going to be 3 times x minus 2 plus 8 over x minus 2 times x minus 2. And we can write this as x minus 2 over 1. Right? So again, if you're confused on that step, all I did is I'm taking this whole thing, x minus 2, and distributing it. So x minus 2 times 3, that's right here, and x minus 2 times this whole thing, right here. Okay, so I have 2x plus 8 equals, this will be 3x minus 6, plus, over here, x minus 2 divided by x minus 2, that's just 1. So this is just going to be plus 8. So we have 2x plus 8 equals 3x plus 2. Now, easy part, let's finish this here. All right, I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. We get 8 is equal to x plus 2. And if I subtract 2 from both sides, we end up with x equals 6. And there you have it. Okay, we'll do some more of these in class.